I think it's fair to say that no one can stand the star of this movie.
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged. I truly do believe that.
Excuse me. Your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you?
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
And it just goes to show you exactly why she is so universally rejected right now.
She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is? Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
When The Simpsons decides to roast you by name, it's not just pop culture commentary, it's a cultural funeral. And unfortunately for Rachel Zegler, that's exactly what just happened. Once hailed as Disney's next Golden Girl, Rachel has found herself in the middle of a brutal backlash, a career-threatening controversy.
They're remaking the movie, they just got rid of the dwarfs, okay?
Okay, but what do they call them?
Why would they get rid of the dwarves, though?
Magical creatures.
But they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it. The disability, like we're a disability group, you just erased that whole image. The argument should have been from Peter Dinklage, there's power of being on TV, there's power of television, and to put 7 people with dwarfism on camera in a major Disney movie, there's still power there. If the story is offensive, change the story, don't change the characters.
And now, an animated takedown so savage, it's got Hollywood talking. Her portrayal in Snow White was supposed to be iconic. Instead, it's become meme material. But how did it all spiral so fast?
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
This is someone who is as entitled as, I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it, you didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White. Right. You should shut up and do the
This is no ordinary apple, my dear. It's a magic wishing apple. A wishing apple? You offer it to me freely. In place of the patriarchy, you would have a queen! Not white, but diverse, inclusive, and equitable! I will become the leader I know I can be! All shall love me and despair!
Oh, what has she done to you? Fear not. First love's kiss can break any curse.
I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings. I would highly advise that you boycott this film, no matter how much your children love Snow White.
I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
I know this point has been made, but this truly is the worst casting maybe in the history of the film industry.
When I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere, and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
I am walking into Snow White, 2 p.m., now seating. Let's see how empty it is. I hope it's off the woke we go. I hope. Sound like I hear a couple of people.
It sounds like you're one of the only ones there, just like Rachel Zegler, as it turns out, and we part with this video of Rachel Zegler alone in a theater watching herself. One of the most unlikable humans.
That
ever.
is sadder than when the original Snow White eats the apple.
Rachel Zegler's rise was nothing short of meteoric. From a relatively unknown YouTuber to winning the lead in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, her breakout performance earned her not just critical acclaim, but Hollywood's full attention. She was instantly branded as the next big thing, a modern-day Cinderella plucked from obscurity and handed the keys to the kingdom. But the real crown came when Disney announced her as the new face of Snow White, a move meant to reintroduce the classic fairy tale to a new generation. It should have been career-defining, a legacy role. But what was supposed to be her coronation turned into her public crucifixion. From that moment, every move she made, every word she said became a flashpoint. And the very thing that was meant to solidify her stardom might have been what lit the match to burn it all down. When The Simpsons sets its sights on you, it's never by accident. And in Rachel Zegler's case, the gloves are off. The long-running animated juggernaut just aired an episode that didn't tiptoe around the controversy. It cannonballed right into it. Titled Snowwoke the Reimagining, the episode features a painfully familiar starlet named Rochelle Zealous, a hyper-woke actress playing a reimagined Snow White who trashes the original story, alienates the kingdom's subjects, and winds up screaming at enchanted woodland creatures about the patriarchy. Subtle, not even close.
People are like, oh wow, Snow White flopped. Who is surprised? You cast arguably the least genuine, most out of touch, and disliked person in her industry, and her industry is Hollywood. And the bad guy is Gal Gadot.
The parody is merciless. In one scene, a Krusty the Clown-type host grills her on his late-night show, mimicking Rachel's real-life press tour disasters, only for her to storm off stage in a tantrum. It's not satire anymore, it's a takedown. And the timing? Not coincidental. The internet has already clipped the scenes and turned them into viral memes, declaring the episode the final nail in Zegler's public persona. This wasn't just a cartoon gag, it was cultural commentary. The Simpsons turned Rachel Zegler into a caricature of Hollywood arrogance, and in doing so, confirmed what many online have been saying for months. She didn't just fumble the bag, she lit it on fire. And now, the smoke is visible from every corner of the industry.
I just want to tell you guys about a little incredible movie that just came out, Snow White. Wow. I just got to tell you, best movie I've seen in years, and there have been some really, really good films lately. Madam Web, Rebel Moon Part 1, that movie, that transgender one with the Mexican drug lord. But Snow White blows them all away. Chat, this movie has everything. Horrifying, CGI, little people, check. A feminist princess who don't need no man, double check. Diddy dance party at the end, double Diddy check. All this to say, go see Snow White right now. The new one. Not that old stupid one where the princess gets saved by some good, upstanding guy.
While the internet mocked and The Simpsons memed, Hollywood insiders were already making quiet moves, and none of them were good news for Rachel Zegler. Behind the curtain of glitter and headlines, the real damage was being done. Casting agents started pulling back. Studio execs, once eager to attach her name to upcoming tentpoles, began using phrases like brand risk and PR liability in internal meetings. Scripts that had her name penciled in mysteriously stalled. And opportunities that once came knocking, dead silent. Insiders whispered about calls being unreturned and emails being met with polite delays. Some sources even claimed she was being discreetly replaced in early negotiations for upcoming franchise films. And while nothing was publicly confirmed, one thing was clear. The Disney Princess label that should have launched her to A-list royalty was now weighing her down like a crown made of concrete. The industry didn't need to say it outright. Hollywood has its own way of freezing someone out. And Rachel? She was suddenly on the wrong side of that velvet rope. Not because of one misstep, but because the narrative around her had spiraled into something even her team couldn't control. In a business that thrives on likability and image, she wasn't just controversial anymore, she was radioactive. At this point, the question isn't whether Rachel Zegler's image took a hit, it's whether the damage is permanent. Hollywood is no stranger to redemption arcs. We've seen stars crash and burn, only to rise from the ashes with a well-timed rebrand and a tearful interview. But Rachel's situation is different. She didn't just stumble. She alienated fans, rubbed insiders the wrong way, and became a punchline on one of TV's most savage stages. That kind of PR crisis doesn't just blow over. It lingers.
Snow White gets her name, not from the fairness of her skin, as we obviously know Rachel Zegler would be a miscast in that sense. Instead, she gets her name from surviving a snowstorm.
That audiences walk away from this film with an understanding of the true meaning of fairness, of what it means to be fair in this world. There is a message that's been carried on for almost 90 years now from the original animated classic. That is, fairness is what is within. Fairness is to do with your heart, the way you treat the people around you, and it has nothing to do with what you look like, and that's the misunderstanding between Snow White and the Evil Queen. I think it's such an important message, and the way that Disney has elevated it and brought it to this new audience is very special.
But comeback stories do exist. If Rachel wants hers, it's going to take humility, time, and a complete shift in tone. Less preaching, more listening, less spin, more sincerity. Audiences are forgiving, but they have to believe you've changed. And right now, Rachel's biggest battle isn't with the media, the memes, or even the Simpsons. It's with the court of public opinion, and that's the toughest one to win back. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this story is far from over. See you in the next one!